Mac Digital Sports program. Joining me as usual, my Desi Gora friend, Tom Jones. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Masood. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. How are you? How was the day today?
Yeah, very good day. We had a bit of cricket. Played in our second match of under 15s against over 40s, having played our first one last week. So it was like the return fixture.
Under 15s against the under 40s.
No, under 15s against over 40s.
Oh, right.
So basically parents against players.
Right. So who won?
Well, last week we won. This week the kids won. So it was all fair in love and cricket.
Yeah, it's a fair result. It's not bad, is it? And on to our favourite subject, on to the main point of the evening, the second T20 between Australia and England. Well, England and Australia. We're on to my predictions. 3-0, 2-0, we got there. We're nearly there. Just one more game, eh?
Yeah, well, I might have to eat a bit of humble pie because, yeah, you're one game away from proving that all of those doubters, of which I was one, could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, there's still possibility. It could be a 2-1. So where not.
Which is what I said.
Yeah, this is what exactly I was going to say. That there's a possibility that you could be right, and then I'll have to eat the humble pie. Mind you, I don't eat pies. I'll have a kebab instead. So that's a different. I'm good Muslim, doesn't eat pies. It's good. Not
But you
good
could eat some. You maybe eat some crumble. I've got some nice apples and pears from the garden, so you could eat crumble.
Oh, I love apple crumble. That's made my day. I could do that. I'd come over for that anytime. Yeah.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, the game. Actually, I managed to watch in bits and bats. So it's like, and after the England's innings, I fell asleep. Well, after the Australian batting, so I had to have a nap and then, I had to wake up after that. Yeah, so it was the Aussies seemed to be struggling.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch the game live because I was playing, but I've watched highlights, and what everyone seems to be raving about is Jofra Archer and Wood's opening burst of pace, which managed to get rid of 2, if not 3, of the top order, and that obviously set Australia back. And although they regrouped and managed to post a total, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it seems that Jofra and Wood have got the numbers of the Australian opening batting at the moment, aren't they? So it looks they're struggling against the pacer.
Well, they didn't struggle against them in the first T20, but certainly today. I mean, I watched. It's not that often you see Warner being done for pace from over the wicket. He's become known for being Stuart Broad's bunny in Test match cricket when he comes around the wicket, but he doesn't normally struggle against pace in any format of cricket, whether he's playing Big Bash, IPL, T20 or Test match cricket. And yet today, I think he found in Archer an adversary that was just too good.
Yeah, as I say, did. And Aaron Finch seems to be okay. I think he got a score in the first as well. Today he got another decent score, didn't he? But the Australian middle order and tail is a bit poor, isn't it? A bit long, actually, it seems like at the moment.
Well, I think that's where they're looking to try to focus for the next sort of couple of years, because I think they're quite happy with their first 3. Who wouldn't be? But I think maybe 4, 5, 6, 7. Whilst on paper, talent-wise, like we discussed the other day, I think talent they've got, but as to game management, as to playing the situation, as to dealing with pressure, maybe they're not yet executing plans as well as they would like. So maybe we'll see how they bounce back. They don't ever lie down easily, the Aussies. So we'll see how they fare in the final game.
Yeah, it seems Aussies never give up. But the one thing is it because maybe England have been playing cricket? I mean, obviously they've been playing for the last 2.5 months, whereas the Aussies haven't. Probably that's got a factor in it as well, because they're probably rusty as well.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on that. I mean, all the pundits and commentators the other day were very quick to praise Australia for being very sharp out of the traps, both in the field with the ball in hand and bat in hand. But and really they should have won that game. But England managed to open up an opportunity and exploit that opportunity to its maximum. Today, I think it was. I've not heard any interviews, so I don't know what Finch said about what they felt a par score would be batting first, but I would imagine they would have liked to have got 20 or 30 more runs. But England still didn't struggle. And Buttler in the form that he's in, he's going to put the pressure on the opposition no matter who it is.
Yeah, he seems to be doing really well. Banton's struggled against the Aussies. They just more or less picked him up for really small scores at the moment.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the problem. I think Banton has proved, having got contracts with the IPL, and I think he also got a contract last year with Big Bash. He's proven to be able to stand on his own 2 feet in the company of all the world's top cricketers. So I don't think that's an issue. He did well against Pakistan. He's playing a different role this time. So I think it's good. It's a bit like when you hear coaches at academy footballers say that it's good for their experience when they're in the kind of younger phase of development to play in every different position. And I think for Banton, opening the batting against Pakistan worked. He's been dropped down the order a little bit to give other people a different role and him a different role. It's not quite worked yet, but he's definitely got the ability and the mental toughness.
Yeah, Buttler played another fantastic innings again, 77. He's carried on from the Test matches as far as you can see. He's full of confidence, and he gets the bat on the ball.
Well, it's been a funny summer for him because he didn't get off to the greatest start, and he was probably one innings away in Test match format from potentially being dropped. And I think he came out on record himself to say the same, or pretty much the same thing. But it shows the character of the guy to be able to, work on his game a little bit and just make ever so slight adjustments to. For me, it's where his head is at point of impact for a ball that's just outside off stump on a full length. And when his head just falls away to the offside ever so slightly, that's when he tends to get caught out in the covers. Or he nicks off. So he's just made a very, very small adjustment, and he's absolutely filling his boots now and seeing the ball really big. So when he's like that, he's unstoppable virtually.
And also, Moeen Ali played well today. I know the other day we were saying that he got 61 and he wasn't there to finish you off, but he came on late on, and then when the pressure would have been more on Buttler if Moeen Ali hadn't got those 11 runs in 3 deliveries and then gave the last delivery, which Buttler hit for 6. So he took the pressure off Buttler at the end.
Yeah, he did, and that's the class of Moeen Ali. I think he is a confidence player and he's a touch player. But as we discussed briefly last time, I think Owen Morgan really, really believes in him and thinks that he's a genuinely valuable part of the team. And it showed again him at the end. I've seen the 6 and the 4 that he hit, and they're not slogs. They're just beautifully timed, shots over the infield. And as you say, it took the pressure off Buttler. But Buttler then hit one which probably went 100 meters or whatever into the stands.
Yeah, I think KP was there, and KP says that's the biggest 6 he's seen at the ground, which is amazing because he says he's a huge 6. Well, also some of them, I think it probably was KP. He said, Morgan believes in his players, and if Moeen Ali or somebody else has gone there and made a mess, he won't go ballistics. What he will say, I believe in you, and that usually pays off. So he doesn't come shouting and bawling at them if they made a mistake and so forth. And this is the reason why situations like today, Moeen Ali played brilliant because he was just under no pressure to do what if the captain was going if he went wrong.
Yeah, again, I think that's a very perceptive comment, and I think that culture that Morgan has built up, he should be given a hell of a lot of credit for. because he is quite uncompromising. If you cross him, then there's no chance you're going to be given another go. Again, we talked about Alex Hales. A lot of people are calling for him to come back, and well, why should he come back if he if he effectively let himself down and brought the side into disrepute with his behaviour off the field? I don't think he should come back. I think there's more than enough talent in that dressing room currently, both the less experienced and the more experienced players. Again, David Milan is he just kind of goes under the radar again because of Buttler's innings. But again, I saw his highlights of his 42 from 32 balls, and there's not many people who hit Pat Cummins over extra cover for 4 in any format of cricket. Pat Cummins is one of, if not the top bowler in all formats of the game. So he again deserves a lot of recognition, not just a little bit, but a lot of recognition. And I think he quite likes being sort of not headline grabbing. I think he quite likes being sort of not one of the big name stars, but he's had an absolutely superb summer in the T20 format, and good on him.
Yeah, actually, he played another blinder today, really, and he has had a fantastic summer. He's been well, he's not just had one-off games or one-off big scores and stuff. Yeah. He's been consistent. And
yeah, absolutely.
And he's also unsung hero in a way, like you say. He doesn't get the plaudits in the way that maybe some of the other ones. Butler's got all the plaudits today and stuff, and also the people who may have come in for a quick, quick 30-40, but he seems to do the groundwork, and coming up opening, he seems to do well on that.
Yeah, and I feel a bit sorry for Denley, because Denley did that kind of role for England in the Test team for a bit. But he just didn't seem to be able to kick on from getting 30s and looking quite good, and then he just seemed to kind of fall away, not go past 30-40 and make a big score. But I still feel as though he played a role in that Test team. Milan just seems to be happy not getting the headlines, going under the radar, being the unsung hero, and if he just, I think he said the other day, he doesn't really know what the magic formula is, but he just hopes it can continue for as long as possible, because as we all know, in cricket of all formats, as a batsman, your numbers up. If your numbers up, your numbers up. That's it. You only get one chance. So good for him.
Yeah, it could be gone as a batsman. You go in there, your number can only lost to 0, and you could be out and goodbye. That's it.
We'll see what happened to Bairstow. Yeah. So Bairstow, I don't know whether you saw his dismissal, but he ended up being out, hit wicket with it when he was pivoting, having hit a shot, and his bat, actually the back of his bat, hit his leg stump and knocked the bail off. They were all appealing for, well, I think the commentators thought they were appealing for caught behind, whereas he'd actually quite bizarrely hit his leg stump bail off. Yeah.
Oh, no, I missed that one. I've got to say a few highs to people on Facebook. We've got people joined on there. Ranatai said hi. Nina Kohli said hi. Awais Nadeem and Yasser Masjid. So we've got a few people on Facebook who are following us. So we just say hi to everybody and thank you for joining us. In terms of Tuesday now, it looks like if we get a good weather again, and the weather was good today down in Southampton, so we could be on for the 3-0.
Well, yeah, you're on for the 3-0, or you're potentially on for the 2-1. So it's going to go one or two ways. One of us is going to be more happy than the other, I guess.
I don't mind the apple pie crumble, though. I'll come for it over to Warrington, lad.
I'll send you one, no problem.
Well, I don't trust the post at the moment. All sorts of things are coming late. And
I'll hand deliver it.
Yeah. Well, you can come in and we can actually do it right here in the studio. We could do this next Saturday. We could have, the Leeds and Liverpool match. I don't know whether anybody else apart from yourself supports Aston Villa. Although
I don't think not in this part of the world, no.
Well, actually, somebody just joined us from Birmingham. Chelsea was Simi, he's a Brummie. I actually lived in Birmingham as well. In my early parts of life, didn't fall in love with Aston Villa, but I used to cheat. When they won the old the first division and then won the European Cup, and I used to be in Bradford, and so I was being sneaky. Then I just said that I'm a Villa fan, but never been a really Villa fan. But I did watch the Peter With and Gary Shaw, and remember Trevor Morley, all those great players.
Tony Morley.
Yeah. That's it. All the all good players. So they had a good side. I want to bet next week. Obviously, it's a big game. Well, actually, we should preview that on probably later in the week. The Leeds Liverpool match. I want to say to anybody, there's lots of Liverpool and Leeds fans from the Desi community. I don't know where they get. I have no idea why. All we've got Desi Scousers. Where do they come from? But that's another story. So we're going to encourage any of the Desi Scousers who want to sit here. We've got 2 chairs on my right and left. We're going to be filling them in on Saturday, and we can actually watch the game here in the studio, and you can all fight over. We can have the Leeds fans on one side and the Liverpool fans, and we can go for a curry afterwards if it's still alive, depending who wins the match, though.
You might be praying that it's a draw.
Yeah, I think that might be a fair result. But that's we will talk about that. Cricket is tonight. There is a few other things I want to talk about cricket, but not tonight. I think we shall leave it because how are you feeling after the game today? So just bring it back to yourself for a bit.
Well, after the second T20?
Yeah, no, yourself, your game.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was fun because the whole idea was just to try and finish the season, which a lot of people involved in recreational cricket will be of the same opinion that it looked for a long time that there was going to be no cricket season at all for local club cricketers. So to get any game in during this strange summer that it's been is a bonus. And the under-15's been an absolute at Warrington Cricket Club have been an absolute pleasure to coach. And on and off the field, they've become probably stronger friends this summer than any of us really anticipated, which has been fabulous to witness. So we just wanted to finish the season really by arranging a fun fixture where they got the opportunity to play against some of us older ones, and there were probably 6 father and son combinations in both teams. So last
Well, your
week,
boys playing?
Yeah, my younger one was, yeah. So so last week we just about managed to keep our pride intact by beating them, and then today they got their revenge quite justifiably, chasing down a small total on a very green top wicket, but getting there pretty comfortably in the end. So good for them.
Yeah, well, that's good. At least you got a game in. I haven't played a game of cricket for about 30 years now, and I think maybe I need to get my whites on, which if I can find. I probably won't fit in any of them. Mohammed Sharif, sorry. I was just going to say a few hellos to before. Sorry. Mohammed Sharif is a Leeds fan. He's actually online with us as well. Zafar Ali, he said, "Oh, Liverpool." No. I've never been a Liverpool fan. Ahmed Ali is with us. Mahbub Hussain Dad is with us. So sorry, I was saying that I'm going to have to get my kit out.
Yeah, well, you'd be welcome any time to play in our over 40s team, no problem. But no, yesterday I captained our second team, and we again, just because of different issues with who was available and so on, we went to a very strong side. I won't name the side, but I won the toss. And normally speaking, probably 99.9% of the time when I've been captain in the past, across 20 odd years of playing senior cricket, my mantra is, if you win the toss, you always bat. And then for some reason yesterday, I had this little thought in my head, this little sort of voice in my head saying, no, just let's just see if we can do something different. So I decided to field, and I won't give you all the details, but the opposition ended up on 330 for 4 off 40 overs. One of their batsmen got 177 and another got 90. So it was a bit like Nasser Hussain against Australia when everybody said, having looked at the pitch report, that he should have batted, and he ended up doing the opposite, and they got absolutely hammered. That's what happened yesterday, and that's certainly one for the cricketing locker for
so me. So you had a Nasser Hussain moment yesterday, eh?
Well, yeah, I mean that's probably being kind to Nasser, actually. So Yeah, we didn't. The only, I suppose, the only good thing was we didn't end up getting skittled. We were 160 odd for 8 at the end of our 40, but it was very very tough for a couple of hours chasing leather all the way around the boundary.
On that exciting note and interesting thought, I shall say thank you very much for joining us tonight again, and we shall see you on Tuesday evening. And well, one of us could have a big smile on our face, and the other one could be eating his humble pie.
Humble crumble.
Humble crumble pie, that's it. Just before we go, I want to say thank you to Sergi as well. Hello, and Shafiq, who just joined us on Facebook. Yeah, so thank you very much, Tom. Have a good evening, and we shall see you on Tuesday night.
Pleasure. See you later.